5 people watching. Hey, Julian's here. Always first off the mark. Hello, Julian. How you doing, mate? You alright? Back, as promised. As promised. It's good to be back. Been a while. Suffering from a bit of a cold, which you might be able to pick up, may or may not. Tech's still playing up a little bit, but hopefully the stream will be quite clear. So we'll have to wait and see. Got so much to cover. I'm hoping that I don't forget everything, but fingers crossed. Got loads to talk about. Loads to talk about. So I went on a little bit earlier, so we're still sort of 5 minutes earlier than even the beginning of the show. So this is almost like the old-fashioned pre-show parties. Like we're going back old school. But I sort of jumped kind of on just to double check that the stream was gonna work and give it time to settle down. So fingers crossed it will hold. But yeah, got me buddy, old Maggie, come along for the ride. But yeah, it's quite funny. Literally less than 10 minutes ago, I picked him up and I dropped him, but his legs snapped off. It's a disaster. Thankfully, everything literally went straight down the plastic, and there was no chipping of the paint. Thank God. But yeah, some choice words were said. But thankfully, he's back together now. He's gluing. He's all good. He's all good. But yeah, we'll see how we're getting on. Have a quick look at what the are watching at the moment. Yeah, man, it was not pretty. It was one of them moments. So I thought I was being clever. So I'm not going to pick him up right now because I don't want to do it again live on camera, and also he's still setting. But I've magnetised his base, so where he's sort of standing on the Dreadnought's arm, when just so I can kind of literally the magnet's in there. It's a massive, great big magnet, and the rest of the magnets underneath the base, and it's a nice pull on it. It's pretty good. It's only on one of a foot, but it's enough to really hold him in place, and he's quite stable. Touch wood most of the time. I just wanted for transport because I've been stitched up so many times over the last couple of months, going to tournaments and events with big models, and they're just a nightmare to transport. So I've magnetised his arms so he can have the little dagger and he can have the big old scythe, Eka staff, whatever it's called. So you can have either of them, which is cool. And he's also magnetised to the base. So I didn't magnetise his wings, but it's still going to be a lot easier without that base on him. But that was the kind of downfall because I kind of tilted him so you could see him, and the magnet wasn't quite strong enough to hold him, and he went over straight on the floor. So yeah, disaster. Hello, Will. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, we are in the pre-show. Will, as I said, this is like old school. We're pretty much having a bit of a pre-show party. I wasn't too sure whether the stream would hold up because it's been so bad. I've had some computer issues last week, and the stream's been terrible this evening. The internet's been bad, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it holds out. I've purposely not got the boys on tonight. I don't want to stretch the bandwidth, and if I'm being brutally honest as well, I've got a lot to go through, so I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, like a surprise. reading the message again, kind of tech wise. I've got my pad in my hand, so when I'm looking down, I'm looking at your comments. Hey, you right, Craig? I shouldn't really be responding to that though, Craig. That's you know, that is a scandalous way of talking to me. It upset me already. I'm breaking in and out. That's a really good start. Well, there's not a lot I can do about that, guys. Hopefully it stables itself out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Saying the stream's okay. We'll crack on. That's the problem that I've had this evening, is basically the internet keeps dropping. So it's a really strong signal and then it completely drops off. So that might happen. I'm just trying to find out why I can't get a solid stream at the moment. Might have to get the powers that be tech guys round to try and sort things out. But yeah, we'll hang on for a little bit longer. As I said, I did put the show on a little bit earlier just so we could see whether it was actually going to run. And we'll leave it a little bit longer, wait for a few more people to come in, and then we'll kind of get it rolling. I've still got so much to kind of cover. Hello, James. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back. Sorry it's been such a long time. And yes, the stream's gone. Back to normal. Never cross the streams. Never cross the streams. Yeah, so we'll see. And I don't know whether someone's commented or not about whether it's just the stream, but I've got a terrible cold, so hence the reason why I might sound a little bit different. It's not just the stream. I am actually been struggling with a bit of man flu over the last week. It's on its way out now, so fingers crossed I won't be coughing and sneezing too much, but that'll be why. Yeah, call your local tech priest Dominus. Yeah, absolutely. Stick a quid in the meter before you start. Yeah, that might work. I'll get the little hamsters pedaling overtime downstairs. Let's have a quick look. How many people? Yeah, got a few people in stream. We'll leave it another couple of minutes. See if anyone's gonna join along. But yeah, it's good to be back though. It's good to be back. Yeah, man, my PC don't need virus. Yeah, I'll try not to sneeze on the computer. It is an officially recognised condition. You're absolutely spot on. I think maybe it's because I've been knee deep in Nurgle and working out Nurgle lists and kind of getting into that. Maybe that the disease-ridden Nurgle is rubbing off on me. Even I am, as I said earlier to Julian, I am sitting next to the big man tonight. He's come along for the ride. But I also said again, I don't know how many people were around. I think it was just Julian, but there was a few other people hanging around. But he also fell on the floor earlier and did actually break his legs off. Thankfully, no damage done, and he's all right. He's okay. But yeah, there we go. I think we will get the show rolling, and we'll kind of see how it goes. If it kind of, I'll try and keep an eye on the comments. So do let me know if it completely goes. I'll try and just kind of pad on, and hopefully, you'll be able to hear and get something out of the show, and it's not too painful. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Wargaming Weekly, or Wargaming Not So Weekly that it has been recently. Thank you everyone that's joined us already. Got a few people chatting in the chat room, which is always awesome to see. So many cool people, and nice. So many people have come back after quite a big break. So apologies, really do. It's a combination of being really busy with work, family, tournaments, and I've had some tech issues as well. So that's been the main reason why I've been away. But the show, as always, is brought to you courtesy of Wargames, where you can get all your wargaming goodness at fantastic prices, awesome service, do check them out. There's always a link in the description below, and yeah, check them out. They're a good place to get your hobby goodness. So in the show, we'll talk about all sorts. We'll talk about rumours, news, tactics, tournaments, and always quite a bit of banter thrown in for good measure. I'm just checking the chat kind of as I'm looking around. I do have a lovely cold, so apologies. I've already spoke to the guys about it, but apologies. I am suffering from a bit of the man flu. So tonight, what do I want to go through? Well, there's been a lot going on, so I want to talk through a little bit about No Retreat. So I was at No Retreat 5, I was at No Retreat Horus Heresy. I want to talk a little bit about how those events went, what the experiences were, and the new SM Battle Reports tournament applications are live. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk a little bit about the Last Chance Open and the crazy success that we had with that. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Of course, I want to talk about some next up and coming events. So I'm going to a very exciting event coming up, and I want to talk a little bit about that as well. So we'll talk about that coming up, and we'll talk about the dreaded sort of elephant in the room that is the Guard, or whatever they're called these days, Astra Militarum, and what they're doing and shifting the meta again, scaring a few people. There's a lot of skies falling stuff coming around, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about the new crazy looking super heavy Space Marine Primus tank, and we'll end by talking about the new up and coming Tyranid Codex, what my kind of hopes, dreams and prayers for that are going to be. So tons and tons to talk through, and yeah, we'll do our best to kind of cover everything we can. So we'll jump straight in with kind of the past stuff first of all, so what we've kind of been up to, and and just having a little look at checking a quick look at the comments. Everything seems okay at the moment, so we will see. Right, so tournaments I've been at. So we went to the SM Battle Reports No Retreat 5 tournament, which was obviously I was going back to the Rock to defend my title. So always great to go back. Incredible event, loads and loads of friends, always there, and it's yeah, it's just one of those events that you need to experience if you get the opportunity. It's just that good. So I brought Tyranids. I put up lots and lots of pictures on my Instagram. So if you're not on my Instagram, make sure you are, because I post tons and tons of stuff on Instagram. I'm a little bit kind of crazy on it, so you get an opportunity to see everything first. The only way you'll get to see that stuff even earlier is if you're a Patreon. I try and post things a couple of days earlier on Patreon, so you can see stuff there. But good place to see all my stuff on Instagram. So the Tyranids, yeah, I kind of decided that I wanted to bring something fun. I didn't want to go too crazy hardcore on it. I wanted to kind of go. The Tyranid index is a great index. There's so much strength and depth. There's loads and loads of cool units. Everything's pretty good. It's a really fun army to play now. And rather than try to kind of optimize, I wanted to bring something that had a lot of variety, that gave me an opportunity to really kind of showcase what the Tyranids are all about. Play something that's very assault heavy, because it's something that we've not been able to do for a long time, and I wanted to kind of make the most of that. So I played a very assault heavy army. I'll probably do a separate video, or maybe I won't, but I'll I might do a video on my list. It's not really exciting because it's not ultra competitive, but it was loads and loads of fun. But in a nutshell, it was some big units of Gene Stealers brought in by Trigons, a Swarm Lord, and a little bit of shooty goodness at the back, held down by a Malanthrope and a Brood Lord. So yeah, it was a kind of varied, well-rounded list. Did okay, won a couple of games, lost three. Two of them were very close. Got absolutely smashed by Knights. But yeah, really cool event. It was won by Chris, aka Fabius from Twisted Dice. That's great that we brought it home back to the channel, which is wicked. So that means whether it be me or Chris, we've now held it for 2 years. If we can hold it for another year, we'll keep it in the channel for a third year, equally in tabletop tactics. So that's the plan. So no pressure, but either me, Darren, or Chris needs to win it next time to make sure that we hold that title where it belongs here. So yeah, no pressure, but there we go. So awesome event. I then flew home, and then I flew back to the Rock the Friday after, less than a week in between, and took my World Eaters to No Retreat Horus Heresy. Now, still not awesome at Heresy, don't really know it inside out, but brought again a list that I knew would be fun, a very fluffy, all assault, drop pod, Heresy, World Eaters list. And it was tons of fun, tons of fun, and actually it was incredibly powerful. It really did work, and it smashed everything that wasn't Custodes. So yeah, I'm just having a quick little look. Yeah, no major stuff coming through the chat, so everything seems to be going good, which is fantastic. So yeah, I smashed everybody. Like literally all the games I played, did really well. I will say that I played Matthew Marlowe from Greetings from the Warp in the last game, and actually that was quite a touch and go close game. So I didn't smash him, to be fair. That was close. I took it just at the end. I really had to play tactically, but just took it off his AdMech. So he had AdMech and he had Dark Mechanicus as well. So it was a really cool looking army, very tough. Lots of shooting, really resilient, crazy good game, and a nice kind of end to the tournament. But I also played, Kim's amazing looking Iron Warriors. I've got a battle report that will come up on this channel soon, and that will be the World Eaters versus his Iron Warriors, and that was an incredible game, really good. We played a practice game of that, and then I actually played him in the tournament as well. In the tournament I absolutely smashed him. I got really lucky, he got really unlucky, but in the practice game it was really close. I won't tell you which way it went, but it was really close. I played a solar auxiliary, I can't remember what the name is, but basically the 30k guard, loads of tanks, super heavies, loads of shooting, and that was my first game, and I absolutely annihilated him. Just managed to weather the storm from his first shooting, and then we all got into combat and just wrecked his tanks. So, but again, it was just awesome. Angron is just so much fun when he gets in his stride. He is just a great wrecking ball, but he is very easy to kill. I put him in a Death Star, an old 7th edition 30k Death Star. It does keep him alive, particularly if he's in the enemy's deployment zone. But you know, he's a lot of fun to play with, and he just goes crazy. He just wrecks stuff for fun. So so I played that. I think what the other game I played that I won. So yeah, they were the 3 games I won. So I won those 3, and then I played Custodes twice. So I played a bike heavy Custode army, and those bikes, anyone that plays 30k, I don't know if there's anyone in here that plays 30k. I'm just having a quick little look. Oh, hello Keith. Keith's in the chat. Absolute legend. Salute you. Your work is amazing. You are a boss. Absolute boss. Anyway, I digress. So yes, I play bikes, Custodes, and those things. So if you can kind of cast your mind back to 7th edition, you Heresy non-players, these bikes basically have las cannons. So each bike has a las cannon. It's got tons of these bikes. Each one has a las cannon. They have a 2-up save there, but rather than having a las cannon, they have a D3 las cannon shots. They hit on 2s, but they reroll misses. So they're twin linked las cannons with D3 shots and a 2-up save. They're just like mental, absolutely mental. And I just didn't have the tools to deal with them. Custodes are just so hard. He wrecked me. Literally, the game was over in basically 2 turns. Then after that, I played Custodes straight away again. This was not as ridiculously powerful Custodes list, but still enough to pretty much wipe me out. Not too much problems. It was quite a fun game. I stayed in it quite a long way. Angron managed to get in the middle of the board, and he was just surrounded by Custodes and characters and all sorts. Slowly but surely they were picking away at him, but he managed to survive the whole game, which was so cool. But yeah, he beat me easily. But they were the only 2 games I lost, so I lost twice to Custodes and then beat everything else. So I'll take that as a result. But the most exciting thing from the event for me was that I was really lucky to get a SN Army Award. So they give their SN Army Awards basically to armies that they feel look fantastic, but also really kind of demonstrate what the hobby's all about. So are either fluffy, have a really interesting theme. So I was blown away to get that. So that was really, really cool. Absolutely amazing. So that was kind of the weekend. Really, really good weekend. Loved every moment of it. And yeah, so that's that. So off the back of that, they have opened their applications for No Retreat 6. At the moment, there's no plans for another Heresy event, but they've put up their applications for No Retreat 6. It is in March. I believe it is the 2nd week in March. There's about 20 days left of applications left. So go on to SN Battle Reports on Facebook and get your applications in. It really is worth giving it a go. Give it a go, see how you get on. Nothing to lose, and you will love it if you get there. It's an amazing, amazing event. Absolutely incredible. So many cool people, so well run. Absolutely spectacular. So that was that. Then kind of rolling on again. I'm kind of looking at my little list to make sure that I don't miss anything. Sorry, bear with me. I just don't want to miss anything. So then we had the Last Chance Open. So yeah, the Last Chance Open. We didn't have the Last Chance Open, but the tickets went on sale, and you know, absolutely blew my mind. So the Last Chance Open this year coincides with the Caledonian Open, which is probably the biggest tournament in the UK. The London GT is actually bigger now people wise, but Cali sells probably quicker than any other event, is really kind of countrywide known as the cutting edge event in the UK for 40k. But we had to launch our event at the same time, which me and Martin were absolutely really worried at first, but just the sheer volume of support we've had from the community, even just going up to the day of ticket release, really gave us confidence that actually this is still going to sell really, really well. And we thought it might sell out again, but boy, did we not realise that it would sell out within an hour of being on sale. So I know there's a few people that that are in the chat that are probably going to be at the event, I'm guessing, but yeah, literally mind blown how we could sell 60 tickets in under an hour for an event that coincides with the biggest event in the UK is just beyond belief. So thank you everybody for your support. I don't know whether this video will go up afterwards or not. We'll have to see what the quality is, but if you're watching it afterwards and you've bought a ticket, thank you. If you're in the chat and you bought a ticket, thank you. Big thank you goes to my beloved club, the Squid Badgers. I don't talk about them a lot on the channel. It's a kind of, it's a bit like Fight Club. So, you don't talk about Fight Club. It's a bit like that. So, but those of you that have been at an event with me and have sampled and tasted and experienced what the Squid Badgers are all about, you'll know they're a very special team of people, and I am very fortunate to be part of that group. and by God, there's a lot of them coming to the Last Chance Open, and that will add a lot of colour and a lot of flavour to the event, because they leave it all out. Let's say that. So yeah, so thank you very much to all my beloved Squid Badgers for buying your tickets and coming down. So it's going to be an awesome event. So I think we're pretty much now up to date. So I'll have a quick look at the chat and then we'll start going on to what's coming up. Aha. Oh, so got a few people. Yeah, you bought 10% tickets. Yeah, always can count on you, Will. The legends from Scotland. And yeah, Craig. Well, you know, it's close to my heart, so they deserve a good shout out. So anyway, let's talk about the Scottish Takeover. I think that's what it's called. If I'm wrong, Will correct me and tell me off really quickly, so I'll expect a comment coming through. But it's the second event, and it's Will, a very good friend of mine. It's his own event that he's running up in Scotland. There is a really kind of die-hard core Scottish competitive scene that Will's doing his utmost to kind of grow. And there's some really cool guys up there, and they've shown us a lot of support in the past. So Will was really kind of banging on about me going last year. I had just too much on, but when he came back this year and said, look, we're doing it again, I really couldn't kind of, you know, I couldn't turn it down again, and it's a great opportunity for me to go up to Scotland and really kind of see what's going on, and I'm really excited about it. Looks like a really good setup. Will and his team have done an awful lot of work to kind of make this a really cool experience. The prizes look great. There's a load of little nice things, seem like little customized dice bags, all sorts of little nice touches that I'm really impressed with just in the lead up. Communication's really cool. It's an ITC event, which is always awesome. So it's great to kind of get your ITC points. It looks like it's really growing. I can see this going from kind of strength to strength. So I feel quite like privileged to be here at the beginning of this kind of journey. So I know it's a second event, but I can see this going stronger and stronger, and it really being a destination event within the UK. So I'm going up there, and that's November. It's the first weekend in November. So it's ITC event. The guys are running the new ITC rules pack and new missions. Really excited about that as well, because they seem really dynamic, very different, and will really kind of support a kind of much more fluid, much more balanced way of playing, which I'm all for. In fact, I think my Tyranid list would be very good in the format, which is almost tempting me to bring that same list, but I am without a doubt going to turn the switch up to 11 for the cheese factor. I've been kind of running on empty on my kind of competitive cheesy mojo, but it's back now, and I feel like I want to go up to this event, and I feel like I want to try and win it. So yeah, so I'm going to try and take the gold, guys. We're going to see. I think I've got this edition nailed now, and I think I know what works. I've got a really tasty idea of a list that I'm not going to reveal now. And it's not fully finished as far as in my mind. I'm 100% certain on it, but it's I think it's going to be tasty. There's going to be some good players up there. Will's playing himself, and Will's a very good player. And Dave from Wargames, who is an incredibly good player, very tactical, really knows how to put a very strong list together. He's one of these guys that kind of, when he says I've got a good list, you know he's got a good list, and he'll be coming up for blood as well. He'll do very well, no doubt. And I know there's a few other locals or people that come into the event that will also be up there and kind of gunning for it as well. So I think it'll be a competitive event. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great to see the guys. It's going to be great to kind of going up there and supporting them. I will do a dedicated video for it just before the event. So expect that to come in the next sort of week and a half. Well, I'll talk about my list, so I can get you kind of feedback on that, and then we'll do a little bit of commentary at the event and a recap, if not anything else on this show, but maybe even a dedicated recap, and I'll go through how it went. But really excited about that. You know, I'll put lots of Instagram pictures up through the event. So you'll get to see lots of stuff as it kind of goes. And wish me luck, guys. I'm going to try and bring it home. We'll have a little check over, see if I haven't missed anything crucial from the man himself. So ill. So I will fill you in on what you've missed. Customized dice bags, Star Wars Armada, drop fleet models, amazing brushes, paints, trophies, crystals, all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, good little prize kitty. I think it's going to be a great event. Really excited. Can't wait to kind of go. So fingers crossed. I'm hoping the stream's still working. Fingers crossed it's still working. Let me have a quick look. I think it's still working. Anyway, so that's that. So yeah, so can't wait for that. On to the next topic now. Let's make sure I kind of tick everything off. So what do I want to talk about? What do I want to talk about next? I didn't say it at the beginning. Let me talk a little bit. No, I won't. I'll keep it as a surprise. So I've talked about it a little bit before, but I've got some real cool stuff that's coming to the channel very soon. But I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep you in suspense. I'm not going to tell you just yet, but keep an eye on the channel. I know that it's been quite quiet, particularly as I've been working quite a lot on Twisted Dice to make sure that we're really up and running as a team. But I've got some real cool, exciting stuff that's coming to both channels. But you'll see it first here, and I've seen some stuff today, and it is off the scale. So yeah, some really exciting stuff to come. Just can't say any more about it right now, but it's going to be awesome. Keep an eye on the Instagram, and you'll see loads of it. That's all I'm going to say right now, but exciting stuff to come. Right, okay, so hopefully I haven't missed anything. Let's go on to Astra Militarum. Let's talk about them. So obviously they are the big new hotness at the moment, and this is one a lot so far has been me kind of talking at you, and be really interested to hear now your take on this, because you guys have probably got more experience of it than me. One, because I hate Astra Militarum and I have no love for them whatsoever, but two, because I've been busy with other bits and pieces. And maybe you guys can tell me a bit more about it. But basically, the internet and the community is claiming the sky is falling. Astra Militarum apparently have very much kicked off the new codex creep for 8th edition, and a lot of people are very worried that the power level has now gone up to 11, and these guys are going to be starting to annihilate people all over the scene. So really interested to hear what the guys in the chat room take on that, whether they feel that they agree, disagree, whether they think that they are that bad, whether there's people getting a bit excited. I'd be very interested to see your take. So what kind of sounds like they've got some great stratagems to allow them to kind of shoot more accurately. Their tanks, their Russes can now kind of double tap, so they can move half distance, shoot the guns twice, which is pretty cool. They've got quite a few variants that do allow a lot of shooting. You've got characters there will allow you to kind of re-roll ones potentially. That's the kind of feel that I'm getting. So I'm getting the idea that they've got obviously their decent screens. Their conscripts have changed slightly, smaller units, so they're not quite as good, but they can still run pretty cheap screens. Or they can go very resilient screens. I watched a battle report the other day on Frontline Gaming, where Reese was using the big old Ongrins or whatever they're called, or Bullgrins with the big shield. with a bit of psychic support, they can get them up to like a 2+ invon. Sound crazy. They stand at the front, tank everything, and then you've got a hell of a lot of shooting behind. That's kind of what I'm getting the feel for. I'll go over to the chat and see what people are saying. Have a look. What are they saying? Broken. Hashtag broken. Astra Militarum. Broken. Look, bit of talk about NIDs. We'll talk about NIDs at the end. Don't worry. Why do I hate them? Right, so I'll tell you what I hate them. Now, hate's always a strong word. So that's probably a bit harsh. I just really dislike them, and the reason why I really dislike them is I find them ultra boring. I play 40k for the escapism fluff of the kind of like crazy aliens, robots, massive guys in big old armor, bright colours. I love the hobby element of it. Love all that. It's just all the craziness, all the real unrealistic madness of 40k is what I love, and I love the fluff. Incredible. Astra Militarum, they are basically just military. They're like now military. They're like the same as what we've got now. They'd have tanks with big guns, little guys in camouflage. If I wanted to play that type of game, I'd play a historical game. Now, I know they're not quite historical, but and there's no disrespect to Astra Militarum players, because their armies still look incredible. Their big super heavies do still look amazing, but for me, it's just too real, if that makes any sense at all. And I want crazy stuff. I want crazy mad stuff. I don't want stuff that's close to home and realistic. Just doesn't do it for me personally. That's why I really dislike them. Plus, I'm a bad guy. I always like the baddies. I know you can have like renegades and what have you, but the kind of good guys are humans, stuff like that. Just doesn't float my boat. So I don't dislike them for their rules. I never really enjoyed the whole gunline thing. I mean, my Tau were never gunline Tau. So I suppose the idea of just standing there back and just shooting the hell out of stuff also doesn't really kind of excite me. So I suppose that's kind of why I dislike them. That's why I don't like them. They've probably been the army that I like the least. But I know they're good, and from that point of view, I'm kind of trying to find other ways. I know that Genestealer Cult now, with maybe a little bit of Tyranids, and then tapping into what Astra Militarum have got, is potentially a disgusting, nasty combination that could really be horrendously good. But I don't want to go down that route particularly, because I don't like Astra Militarum, and I feel like I'm kind of, I'm just doing it purely for the rules. So let's have a quick look at the chat. At least they've ruled out the 50 constricts. Yeah, latest hotness. You're gone again. There's a big tough, awesome combos. And units, everyone is just crying because the guard is everywhere at the moment. What about taking two 30-man conscript units and combining them? So just having a little chat themselves. Their boost is far too high. Seems overpowered. Okay, so yeah, so basically, but that am I right? Tell me, am I right? So is it basically what we're talking about is units that are quite cheap? So the Lima Russes, the other tanks, the ability to shoot twice is what people are worried about. Is that it in a nutshell? I know that there's some stratagems to potentially even tweak things more, and able to give more than one order and things like that, but basically we're talking about being able to shoot things twice is what we're getting at. Am I right? Let me know. Have I kind of got it in a nutshell there? Is it about shooting Lehman Russes twice? We'll wait, see. I don't know whether, hopefully I'm still coming through. Hopefully there's a little bit of delay. Someone will tell me in a minute whether I am right or wrong. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Still says the stream's good. Little bit of a delay. I don't really like guard, Craig, so I'm not going to read the comments in there. It just bores me when I see guard. I'm like, wake me up when Tyranids are out. Anyway, so yeah, shoot twice is more powerful than you think. Yeah, okay, fine. So that is what it is. That's okay. I'm not saying that that's underpowered. I'm not saying that that's not incredibly crazy. What I just want to do in my mind is understand what all the crazy like sky is falling stuff's about, and basically that's what I'm gathering. So what it is being able to shoot twice. That's what people are saying is too much, which is fine, and that's cool. You know, we can work with that. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a guard army that you're getting twice the amount of points. So yeah, as Will said, you're getting 4K. You're not really getting 4K because you're not going with everything's Lehman Russes. So you're not facing 4K of shooting. But I know what you're getting at. Absolutely makes sense. So there you go. That's kind of what we're facing. To me, you know, I think with the fact you're going to have to take objectives, with the fact that if you can get to them, now I know that's a big if because they've got a lot of shooting, but if you can get to them, their army falls apart a little bit because once you start tagging tanks, they've got nothing. So maybe they're not as broken as people say, but I need to play against them, you know. But it's very, very interesting, and it'd be interesting to hear: is this the start? Do we think that this is one of those? Do we think this is the Eldar moment where they're setting a mark, a benchmark, where actually nothing will surpass? Because ultimately nothing ever surpassed Eldar in the last edition. We got lots of stuff that was close. The only thing that ever surpassed Eldar was when Eldar surpassed Eldar by getting Ynnari. But we never surpassed Eldar in the last edition. So are these our new Eldar? Is it going to be Astra Militarum and that's it? And will the only thing that will beat Astra Militarum be maybe Genestealer Cult with Astra Militarum? I don't know. Be interesting to hear. Or is this just the start of a Codex creep? Because, excuse me, I don't know. Right. We got Elder to come back. Yeah, we have got Elder to come back. What made Riptide's overpowering 7th? Riptide wing firing twice. Once game ability that everyone hated. I actually didn't think that was the thing that made them broken, Will, to be honest. I mean, the Hellfire was really, really good. The thing that made them great was the fact that they could reroll their Nova Charge, so they never failed it, and the fact that they got a +1 ballistic skill. That was what made them broken. The one crazy shot each game was good, really, really good, but it wasn't the thing that people went crazy about. It was the fact that you were getting the +1 ballistic skill, and it was the fact that you were making sure that you were almost never, ever failing to Nova Charge. So I disagree slightly with that. It was the kind of icing on the cake potentially, but the other thing with the Riptides is the Riptides were just so damn good because they were so resilient. They had a good save and they had a decent invon and they had high toughness. So they were the kind of the ultimate combo of cheesiness because they were just such a well-rounded unit that could do a bit of everything. And even in combat, they could pretty much hold their own unless they went against something that was a real combat-based creature, monster thing. So that's why they were so good. We slightly think there's something different here when we're talking about something that's very one-dimensional, that isn't necessarily incredibly resilient. Yes, they're toughness 8, but they're not quite the same. You know, they're not the same type of beast. They're not going to be rocking around hitting on 2s. So there you go. But look, you've probably played them, Will. I've not. So I will hold my judgment until I've played them and been wiped off the board by them. But I'm not sure whether I think the sky is falling just yet. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm in denial. We'll wait and see. I'm hearing a lot about Trenofexes. Right, James, we'll talk about Trenofexes in a minute. Right. Okay, so that's Astra Militarum. Sky is maybe falling, maybe not. So we've really established that, guys. We know exactly where we are. It's definitely either not falling or it is. So let's roll on. Let's roll this. Let's roll this. This tanker on, and let's get on to the next subject. Because I said we've got tons and tons to cover. Still, we're not even. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. The next thing I just want to talk about, this new humongous great big tank that's been shown on the community site, this Forge World Space Marine tank. What's that all about? Wowee. So let's chuck it out there. Let's make this interactive show. What I want to know is, what does that gun do? You don't know because it didn't tell you exactly what it does. So let's guess. What does that gun do? Tell us what it does, and let's get, how many points is this going to cost? All in with weapons. How many points it's going to cost? Let's find out. I'm going to put it out there. I'm not looking at the chat. I reckon that gun is going to be. I reckon it's going to be 12 shots. Strength 7. -2. 3 damage each. 60-inch range. That's what I'm going with. No cover against it. Kind of that. It's a Sakari type thing, but I reckon it'll do more damage. That's what I'm going to kind of go with, and I'll go with. Let's go with 600 points, all in. See if anyone's guessing. Let's have a look. See how far I am. We reckon it's a current turret, but better. Yeah. If you shoot Marines with your foot. Oh no, we're still talking about thingies. I'm not talking about that yet. We'll get to that in a minute. Any links for pics of the tank? I don't know how to do that here, to be honest. But it's everywhere, mate. It's everywhere. You can't go on Instagram. It's on about every other picture. But it's also on the Games Workshop community site, and there's a video of it. Someone's saying 900 points, you reckon, James? Hey, I don't even know you're in here, Rob. Oh, you've not been in here long. All right, Rob. You absolute legend. The legend that is, Rob. Welcome, welcome. You, sir, are a boss. I salute you. And our battle report is coming soon. I know it's been a long, long time, but I've been major busy with other events and all sorts. So apologies, Rob, but it will come soon. It will definitely be released before the Tyranid Codex gets released. I've got a bit of a backlog of Tyranid content, and that needs to be released before the new Tyranid Dex. So it's coming soon. So you get that. You'll get your moment in the sun coming very, very soon, my friend. It's a super heavy. Main gun is strength 8, AP -2, double shot, half range. Okay, that's what we reckon. I think it would be better than a Baneblade. Yeah. Built-in las cannon, sponsor plasma cannon. Yeah. It's also a hover tank. Yeah. And it's not a transport. Really? Not a transport? We sure? Okay. Well, that's that. There you go. So Will seems pretty sure of that. Whether that's a guess or whether he knows a man that can, I don't know. We'll see. Never know with Will. You know, you are absolutely wrong about the Wyvara and the Malanthrope. Anyway, that's little personal jokes, but yeah, I know you've probably been right a lot of times, Will. But I just thought I'd rub those two in, giving duff information out. Anyway, so yeah, but what do we think? I suppose that's the other thing. So that's the first thing. So the first thing is, you know, how many points it's going to cost, what's it packing, but also, do we like it? Because very split opinions, very, very parallel. So some people are in love with it at first glance. Other people think it's an absolute monstrosity. What do we think in the chat? Is it a nice model? Don't know. What do we think? When I first saw the pictures, and it was in kind of like a grey and yellow scheme. I don't know what sort of. No, it was scorpions, wasn't it? When I saw it in the red scorpions, kind of like silver and yellowy kind of trim, I thought it looked pretty poor. The picture wasn't the greatest picture, and this was like the leaked picture like a couple of days ago. Wasn't that impressed. But in the Ultramarines colours, and with a better picture. I actually quite like it. I think it looks pretty cool. But yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what you guys think. Frozen again. Sorry, Will. Can't help it. It's ugly. You think it's fugly, do you? I thought it was very fugly at first, but I'm kind of I don't mind it so much now. Anybody else, or have we completely frozen up? We might have completely frozen up. Don't know. Keeps dropping out, I think. Excuse me. I think we're back. Whether it's my internet playing up, seems to be. Let's have a little look at this live chat. Right, okay. So Rob likes it. Maybe it's a grower. Wait, is that the 4 tank? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, I'll keep those quids going in the meter. Yeah, I will. Yeah, it won't have a penalty for. I think that's standard. It's a super heavy thing. I don't think it's going to have any penalty for moving. Yeah. No, you don't like it, James. Fair enough. So I think opinions a little bit split. I think most people in the room don't like it. I want to see how big it is. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool. It's a big lump of resin. Everyone loves a big lump of resin. Come on. So that's that. Now, the moment that you've all been waiting for, and I don't know anything about it, by the way. So I hope you're not got your hopes not riding on too high. But Tyranids, guys, it's coming in less than 3 weeks. Pre-release will be up, or just over 3 weeks. Pre-release will be up for the Tyranid Codex, and I am majorly excited. Cannot wait. And yeah, I mean, Tyranids are good at the moment, and I know there's been a few questions and a few arguments and decision and stuff in the chat. Tyranids are still good now. They're not bad at all. They're not an auto win button. They don't have the power in a couple of units that they had in the last decks, but they've got a really good, solid base. They've got some great units. All they need is a few little tweaks with buffs, either some better psychic powers, even though their psychic powers are good, but some turn the psychic power switch up, give them some chapter tactics-esque high fleet tactics that tweak things a little bit. Maybe adjustment of points. I still think gaunts could be cheaper. I think they could go down to being 3 points a gaunt rather than 4 points a gaunt. There's some little things that we could kind of play around with. A few little tweaks of a few tiny bits. I don't think it's going to need a lot. And suddenly, Tyranids are going to be the force to reckon with. They wreck facing combat. We just need to be able to reliably get in there. And we need to be able to take the damage a little bit better. The problem at the moment is monstrous creatures were not great in 7th edition. They really couldn't. They got killed too easily, and they actually weren't that good in combat. They now do hit very, very hard, but they're so squishy now. With no invuln save, and the fact that anything can hurt them, and can hurt them a lot easier. Most things wound them on 5s, a lot of the creatures, rather than 6s. So you're just fielding a lot more saves, and there's so much that is like -1, -2, and they're dying too quickly. That's the big problem. Big, heavy, monstrous creature armies just do not work in 8th edition. They do not work. They're great to play with, and they're great fun. They die too quick. And with the amount of shooting that's coming out, with the AdMech, with the robots, with Astra Militarum now, with Tau dropping in, with Eldar to come, big combat monsters are not going to be the way forward unless they do something with this Tyranid Codex to make them a more competitive, more scary prospect. And I think they're going to do that. I think we're going to get some incredible stratagems and hive fleet tactics. And I'll have a look at the chat and see what people are thinking. But my prediction, here you go, I'm just going to chuck it out there. I think they will mirror a lot of the ones that are already out there. So I think you'll have one that is outside of 12 inches, -1 to hit. I wouldn't be surprised if that stacks with the Malanthrope Venomthrope. That'll give us an incredibly resilient defensive core. I think there'll be some stuff that will allow you to break out of combat and then recharge or shoot. I think that will definitely be in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's ways of us doing the endless swarm trick. I can see that coming back. It's great for Games Workshop because you have to buy loads of models because you want a swarmy type army. It's great for the fluff, and it could be really fun to have constantly coming back gaunts over and over again, more than just your Tervagans, and having a real swarmy field army. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm very excited. So let's have a look at the chat. Necrons, he's not here. He's not here. Tell me he's not here. No, I don't think Nick's here. Can't be saying Necrons like that. No, Necrons aren't coming soon. And actually, Necrons are still good at the moment. After playing you, Rob, Necrons are good. What's going on here? Ah, you picked up Tyranids, Jason. Good choice, my friend, and a good time to do it as well. Your things. Hey, you right? So right, Will's saying High Fleet Kraken, faster attack buff, Leviathan, Big Nids buff, High Fleet kicks everything's ass. Anyway, I don't think so. Leviathan's not Big Nids. Leviathan's sneaky little Nids. Leviathan's more Gene Stealer based from a fluff point of view. So Leviathan is going to tend to be more your outside 12 inches would be my guess. Yes, Jason. Build an impact list. Boom. If you haven't watched it, watch the video. You are a boss, Jason. That is what you want to be doing. Build an impact list. And hopefully, fingers crossed, by building an impact list, when the new codex drops, that impact list will be even better, because I think we'll get the bonuses that make it work even more. So yeah, that is the right way to build a list, Jason. You get my hat tipped tonight, big time. I'm impressed. How important is the Malanthrope? At the moment, the Malanthrope is incredibly important, but maybe not so much for majority of your impact army. So yeah, so depends how much core you've got. So if you've watched the video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Other people might not. So go back and watch that video and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But if your core is quite substantial, then the Malanthropes are really key, because you want to make sure that that part of your army is very survivable when your impact part of your army is just going hell for leather and just smashing face. Because if your core is too squishy because you don't have enough defense there, then what you're going to find is your impact will fall apart, because it always does. It's just how much damage it does first. And then if your core is also falling apart because it's not resilient enough, you're going to come a cropper quite quickly. So Malanthropes are key for that, because they will keep that core safer. Depends on how big it is though. So if your core is very small and you're going pretty much all impact or mostly impact, then you can kind of get away with it, because it's not so important. You're pretty much putting majority of your eggs in one basket and you're all out for the kill, which is a very fun way to play, and that's how I played more at No Retreat. It's really cool. It's not as competitive as having a little bit more of a safer base. So I hope, as I said, hopefully that kind of makes sense to you, and anyone that's watched the video. What we've got here? Hey, Dave, legend, and Hendrick's here as well. Hey, Hendrick, you alright? James, we've got a few people actually jumping in, which is all cool. So hello everyone that's just jumped in. You're coming closer to the end of the show, but I appreciate you dropping by. So much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much. You were all legends. But yeah, Dave, well done on your winning the prize for the Lictor. I thought that was very cool, and yeah, you are absolutely still huge inspiration to my Tyranids. So always love seeing your Nids, lovely and vibrant and awesome. So may that continue. Get painting some new stuff. I want to see some new Nids. You know, get some Exocrines in there. Whatever you need to do. I want to see some more of your Nids. Thank you very much, Henny. That's very kind of you. It was a fun, really fun list at No Retreat. Really, it wasn't ultra competitive, but it was. Yeah, it was. It was just really cool fun, and it was just so much fun to play. I could play that list every single day, particularly in like a non-competitive environment. It's just a blast. It's really cool. So I probably will do a separate video on it because that No Retreat list I would just recommend to any Nids player to play. It can kind of hang with most people. If you roll hot, it can be incredibly good, but it's not too OTT, and it's just a really nice, varied, fun list. So I loved playing it. I absolutely loved playing it. So thank you very much, much appreciated. What else we got here? Give adrenal glands to everything. Yeah, it was majorly enjoyable. It was my favourite game of the tournament. Absolutely, it was so good. Made so many mistakes though. It was incredible. How on earth could I forget an attack of Gene Stealers? That was just crazy. And give you one less minus on my X-Crine. That was a proper amateur hour. That was, but yeah, it was a really fun game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so cool, so cool. I'll get you next time. What else we got on here? Will you be bringing home the Scottish Tape Open Championship with Nids then? I would love to, but we're not going to get the decks in time, mate. And I'm not going to play without the new decks. So I am so tempted to take the same list because it is so fun to play, Will. But I want to win that tournament. And if I don't roll hot against like guard, against other stuff with a lot of shooting, it won't last very long. And I'm not, you know, I'm playing the filth. So no, I don't think I'll be taking Tyranids. I don't think. I have my Nurgle. I'm not going to say exactly what I'm taking, but the Nurgle that I'm almost certainly going to take needs to be ready in time, which is scaring me a little bit. I need Jojo to come through and paint my Nurgle quick enough, but fingers crossed. Alright, see you later, Craig. Yeah, I think I'll be abandoning the swarm. Old One Eye is an absolute beast. Yeah, he is. Not probably quick enough. Gonna get shot to pieces. Need to probably put in a pod. Gets a bit expensive, but yeah, he's cool. So much better than he was in the last edition. Very playable unit. Really cool. I haven't actually played him yet. I need to get him out on the desk. I need to get him out on the table. What we got here? If Old One Eye is rolling with Carnifex, as is real good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Carnifex and Old One Eye list is a really cool little list. It's not bad at all. It just so much stuff is very handy at killing monstrous creatures at the moment. Las cannons, you know, 2 las cannons will easily kill a Carnifex if they roll hot. what's Will saying? There is 113 tank guard list coming, so maybe Nids aren't the best. You mean 13? Yeah, okay. Yeah, 13 tanks. That doesn't bother me. That actually would be awesome, because all I need to do is basically do a unit of Gene Stealers, get something else to bite the Overwatch and not die, which I know is not easy. Because if those Gene Stealers get in, they'll literally tag the whole lot of those tanks and they ain't getting nowhere. So they don't scare me that much. Problem is, if you get unlucky with your rolls and, you know, things positioning wise, terrain, it can just be like an absolute, you know, it's going to be game over. You do not want anything of that Tyranids out in the open for a turn, because they're just going to die. You need, with everything on the list that I played at No Retreat, everything that drops, you need it all to make its charges first turn. Otherwise, it's pretty much game over. Too much of a risk. Wait, is the Dex out? No, it's out in like 3 weeks' time. So it goes on pre-release 4th of November. So for sale on the 11th. So really not long to wait now. Right, okay, so we talked about Nids. Before we finish the show, because we've been going now an hour, and it's gone pretty well, so I don't want to kind of jinx it now. But any questions before we kind of call it a night? Any questions at all, by all means, chuck them in. Wait for a little bit of the hesitation and the pause from the bad signal and the lag and the hesitation and what have you. And I'll take any questions, and then we'll call it a night. But thank you very much. Let me just say now, for everyone that has joined in, it's been a really, really good show. It's been great to be back, even with my sore throat and horrible cold. It's been a pleasure to spend the last hour with you guys. You are all legends and bosses, and I cannot wait to be here for the next show next week. So, Jason, how many Gene Stealers is ideal to run, give or take, in Impact? If you can, 20-man units are the way to go, 100%, because you need to keep them above that 10-man threshold to make sure they get their extra attacks. I ran them in 15s, and 15s is nice. Problem is, with 15s, you've only got to lose 5 guys, and then straight away they're starting to lose a bit of that impact. So if you can, max them out at 20-man units, and if you can, you want 2 of them, because anyone that knows what they're on about knows that a unit of 20-man Gene Stealers is going to mince most things in the game if it gets in combat. So they'll literally focus fire them off the board. If you've got 2, and I do talk about it in the video, I'm pretty sure. If you've got 2, you've got a pretty good chance of being able to, you know, absorb that fire by, you know, by one of those units, if not other things that are coming up at the same time or around the same time. And that's your thing. But you do want to be teaming that up with a Broodlord, 100%. It's not always easy to get him in synergizing with it. But the opportunity to get the Broodlord in by a 20-man unit of Gene Stealer is just too good to write off, because the amount of attacks is just so cool. With that hitting on 2s, it's incredibly fun to just roll that amount of dice with that amount of accuracy. It's a great shout. So you need to look at the rest of your list, but if you can afford 20-man, I kind of regretted taking 15. I think 20 would have been slightly better. So 20-man units is what I would advise. Don't go lower than 15. Never go lower than 15. If you go lower than 15, it's more of an irritation unit rather than an impact unit. Yeah, absolutely. Send me a Nid list, mate. I'll have a good old look at it. Love to. It would be my honour, my friend. Did my list look okay so far? I'm new, so I appreciate your advice. I can't remember. Whether you send me your list? I can't remember. If you sent me your list, send it to me again. See you later, Julian. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, no problem, no, Jason. Absolutely. Really happy to help. Do you think? I get those cards. I'm not going to answer that. I'm not even going to go down there, Will. It was in the chat. Well, in this chat. Am I missing it? Oh, here we go. I'm have a look at 2 Tervigans, 60 Termagants, Swarmlord, Transite, Trigon Prime, Broodlord, 40 Gene Sealer so far. I really like that. I really like that. That's actually very, very similar to a list I've been playing around with. So yeah, it's good. It's similar to my No Retreat tournament. It's tournament list, but it's better because the core is really strong. You want a Malanthrope in there, definitely. Add a Malanthrope in, 100%. Yeah, I really, really like it. It's good. It's very, very strong, very strong. Yeah, I think it's pretty much. Yeah, it's great. It's really, really strong. You've got no shooting there, but who cares? You've got an impact list that was going to be tons of fun to play and going to wreck face. So absolutely love it, love it. Great list, great list. um, da da da. That's okay. Oh, don't talk. Oh, look, you've not been at here all video, and then you have to pop up at this time, Scrag. Like literally, like clockwork, like clockwork. Well, I'm not allowed to say what it's actually like because I lost the bet, so I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment on whether it's a biscuit or a cake, because then I'd be going back on my bet with Will. So I've already said what it is, and that is on record on my video. I still won't be good. One day, Scrag, I will play you, mate. I will play you. I'm just at the moment. I'm proper snowed under with all sorts at the moment. But we'll have a game. I promise you, we'll have a game one day. I'd love to play your guard, and your guard now is going to be fearsome, fearsome. What happened to him and his bat reps? I missed something. I missed something. What's this? Do any of you guys know the Legion Wargaming channel? The dude has vanished. I don't actually. I actually don't think I've ever heard of that channel before. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Did he have a lot of subs? I don't know. I don't know. YouTube are getting quite quick to jump on anything they don't like at the moment. It's pretty, as a YouTuber, it's quite a scary place to be at the moment. We're all a little bit on tender feet because we're not too sure, when they are going to be wielding that axe of doom. And obviously, there's a lot of love and painstaking hours and pain that go into these channels. And I would hate it if they were to do something like that to me. So we're all being very, very scared and careful at the moment because there's, YouTube aren't taking any prisoners and they're doing whatever they want, and it's their company, so they can. So yeah, scary stuff. But we're not gonna go down that conversation route. Lots of people have spoken about it. You can find it all over the tube. He had 7K views for his channel. Nice. Right. Okay, so I think we're now coming up to 10 past 11. My voice is going to give in soon, so I am going to say goodnight. And I don't know whether something seems to be playing up anyway. No, it still seems to be here. Anyway, anyone that's still here, good night. Thank you very much for joining us. Please do follow me on Instagram, Facebook, every other social media. Make sure you sub to Twisted Dice, because do an awful lot of work over there as well. And there's loads of content coming up there. There's some cracking stuff on there already, so don't miss out. If you want to support me further, my Patreon account's always there, and any contributions there help me get more content out, more armies, and do more crazy stuff for you guys. Everything I get goes straight back into the hobby, that is a promise, and everything back into the channel. But anyway, guys, as always, thanks very much for joining us, and I'll see you next week with a bit of luck. Thanks very much. See you soon. Bye for now.